Hello and welcome to Creative Marketing TV. My name is Susan Joy Schlief. I'm your host and trainer for today. And welcome. I'm glad if you're here live or even if you're watching the recording later, I'm happy to have you join us. I apologize for getting started a little late for those of you that are here live. Had a little trouble with my audio again this morning, so I'm back to using my air traffic controller headset. I'm not sure why the other one's not working for me, but I'm going to have to figure that out. Anyway, today we are going to look at some cool new software that came out in the last year that makes it really easy to repurpose blog posts and turn them into really well formatted and well designed ebooks. You can give those ebooks away if you want to build your mailing list, or you can sell them at a low price, maybe offer it as a content upgrade at the end of your blog post. That's one thing I like to do, is to just add a hyperlink at the end of the blog post and say, would you like to get a PDF ebook of the content related to this blog post? It might be the same content, or you might add a little bit more to the ebook so that there's more value added. But often people will pay a small amount even just to get the blog post itself with no added content, so that they can save it on their desktop and have it in a PDF format that makes it easy for them to read. So let's dive in and start looking at how we can do that. Now, both of these tools will work with non-WordPress blogs, but I have a WordPress blog, so that's what we're going to be looking at today. And the first one we're going to look at is called Beacon. The website where you can find it is beacon.by. And I don't have an affiliate link to share it with you, so it's just Beacon, BEACON.by. And this one, you can use it two ways. You can run it on their website. Oops, I just realized I'm still on my opening screen. I should switch over to my webcam. There we go. So Beacon, you can use it on their website, run it from a web version, but I'm actually using it through a WordPress plugin that's installed on my blog. So I'm going to switch over to my blog. I'm already logged in, and I'll open up the plugin and we'll get started from there. Let me put my glasses on so I can see what I'm doing. Oops. Okay, so this is my list of blog posts, the first page of it. But what I want to do is come over here on the left and go to the plugins section and click on the Beacon plugin. And the first thing we need to do is connect it to my Beacon account. I don't leave it connected all the time because then it makes it harder to use other plugins. So I disconnect it when I'm finished using it and then reconnect it. Oh, shoot. I forgot to look up my password. 1 second. I'm going to stop sharing for a second here. Had a lot of little pieces to get ready and all open and ready to use, but I forgot about the password. Okay. can I get back to the right page here? There we go. All right. Oops, that's not the right email. Sorry. There we go. All right, so now it's connected to my Beacon account. Now we can go back to the WordPress behind the scenes here. And the first thing we're going to do is look for the blog posts that we want to use. Now, I think this is a little strange. It shows pages as well as blog posts. And actually, you know what? I've never really looked to see if there's a way to turn that. Oh, there is a way to turn that off. Here we go. So now we're showing only posts. And the post that I want to use for this demo is branding for small business. So I check that and come over here and click create. They've just added these two new formats recently, but these are each just one-page documents. And the one we're going to use today is the ebook because it's multiple pages. And as you can see, there are a lot of different formats, and you can replace the images on all of these. Let's use this one. I experimented with that a little bit and I liked that one. All right, so you can see here we have multiple tabs that are going to show us different aspects of setting up all of this behind the scenes. And then once we get everything fixed up, then we generate the PDF. And I'm not going to obviously be able to polish the whole thing today in a short demo, but let's show you at least the basics. So I'll give it a title. And then down here, let me put my sort of subtitle. And then I want to change that background image. So we come over to pages. Oh no, I'm sorry, layout. So whatever page you have open, you go to the layout for that page, and then you have this background image here. That depends on the style that you've chosen, but for this particular style, a lot of the pages have a background image, which is one reason I wanted to show it to you. So I'll click on background image. We can upload from the computer, or we can go to their image library, which connects to Pixabay, I believe. Or it might use some others as well, but I know a lot of these I recognize from Pixabay. And it does tell you what site they're from. So see, all of these that are showing up here are from Pixabay. I don't know if they have more than that or not. The only ones I've seen so far are Pixabay. And I like this. Now notice, because this page is portrait and the image we selected is landscape, it's only showing part of the image. In this case, that lines up very nicely, so I like that. But you might need to experiment a little to find one that works. And let's go back to the pages now, and it automatically creates a table of contents for you. It adds a page for an introduction, which normally then I would fill out a little bit here, because obviously the blog post doesn't have an introduction in it, but I could create a little introduction that will add more value to the ebook. I'm not going to take the time to do that now. The same with the About the Author page. I could even upload my photo here if I wanted to. Give a little bit of my background. Again, I'm going to skip that for now. Then it adds a chapter 1. We don't necessarily need to use this. We could delete that page if we want, but you have the option of importing multiple blog posts. I think up to 4 it takes. So in that case, you might want to make each blog post a separate chapter. And then it would be kind of nice to have these little headings here. So here's another one that has a background image. Let's go over to Layout and swap out that image. Actually, you know what? Let's do this faster. We can type our search term up here, and let's go with this one. I'm not sure why I'm choosing coffee. It doesn't have anything to do with the blog post, but it's faster this way than having to look for pictures on my website, on my hard drive. We certainly could do that and find some that are related to branding. Now the other thing let's do is come in here and we'll create a little summary. Okay. Then let's go to the main page with the blog post. And you can see it's brought in my images that I had embedded in the post. From here we can adjust things, the text and the images on this page here. I find it sometimes will put the text, the first part of the text right next to the picture. Over on the right it looks okay, but I'm just going to bring this down just to make sure that doesn't try to wrap. And then I'm actually going to expand this image a little bit. And let's see, maybe a couple quick edits we could do. We could set the formatting for these headings, subheadings. We highlight that and click on the paragraph marker here. We can choose a style for those. Oops, I'm not sure why it changed that next paragraph. And change it back. There's another image that I want to, let me scroll down over here so you can see. When I expand that, it's going to take up a little bit more space there. And I think there was a way I could center those. Let me see. Right now I'm not seeing it. I know I did this when I was testing out some of this earlier this week. I've used this a couple of times for myself, but it's been a while, so I was doing a little practice. And right now I'm not seeing how to center that image, but I know there was a way. I found it. So let's let me show you another option you have here. Let's do this one. Maybe in addition to, oops, it just did that same thing again. Maybe I'm selecting too far. I think I have one more heading here. Yeah, let me see what happens if I back up there. Yeah, that must be what the problem was. I selected the space afterwards and then it grabbed the next paragraph as well. All right, so, and here's another one where we need to add a return there so it doesn't try and wrap the text around the image. All right, and we can change fonts for the headings. We can change fonts for the whole thing if we want. We can change colors. For instance, we can change font color, but we can also change these heading block colors, and those will be spread out onto every page. So because we don't want to spend a lot of time on this today, I just wanted to mostly show you how easy it is to grab it, that it does add some formatting automatically. It brings your pictures in. Let me just generate the PDF, and then you can see how that result looks even without a lot of editing. And of course, we could tweak it much more than I just did. And while that's generating, I'm going to grab a sip of my iced coffee. And it's finished. View PDF. Let me just make sure that that is displaying, and it is. Good. All right, so there's our nice cover image. Oops, something's a little wrong with that formatting, so I'd have to tweak that. I'm not sure why it added that blank line there. And there's our table of contents, which is clickable, by the way, except that we don't have anything on those pages. But let's see what happens if we do this. We can jump over to the actual blog post. And again, I would want to center those images. Oh, I know I said it was going to add those colored blocks on every page, but I think that maybe that doesn't do that in this particular style that we chose. I've seen others where it does. Now, one of the nice options, and we didn't go through to this last page here, but it adds a page for a call to action at the end where you can make an offer for a paid product that you're selling. Of course, that's part of what you want to do with this, creating whether you create it as a free opt-in or you create it as a low price content upgrade. Either way, you want to have an offer to try and get them to purchase something else that's related, right? So you can put that in here. It has a hyperlinked button here where you can change the text on that and then link it to whatever page you want to send them to. So I find it pretty easy to work with, and it works pretty fast. And as I said, you can use multiple blog posts to make an even bigger ebook where you probably would want to charge for it then. So that's Beacon. Now let me switch over to the second program we want to look at, which is called Designer. And I'm going to change tabs here and then check to make sure that that's actually showing, and it is. Great. So Designer is web-based, and I have one that I created here, which was added to the blog post where you might have found out about this hangout or found out about the recording if you're watching it later. And so this is the first one that I created in here, and then I've done some experimenting. Actually, I did some before that, before I got a polished one that I wanted to share with everybody. But this one, you don't have to be on your blog post on your website to use. Instead, you need to give it a URL for the blog post. So I have one on my spreadsheet here. Let me just copy it. And we'll start a new ebook with it. I'm going to use the same blog post that we just worked with so you can see how they compare. So we're going to click on Create a New Project. And then the way this one works is you have to enter the web page URL. Now, if you want, you can skip this step and import manually instead. If you have any problems with trying to import it from the URL, then you can certainly do it that way. I believe this also lets you import text like from a Word document as well. But you have to highlight the text and then bring it in. So we're going to do it this way because I haven't had any problems with it this way. And then we want to choose a template. I don't know why that, usually it doesn't stop there. It must be just running a little slow today. And again, lots of different styles available. You can change the background images on all of them. You can change the color schemes on all of them. I'm going to use this one. And I'm going to call it Small Business. And why is that not going? There we go. All right, so this one, the layout of the editor is very different. It's mostly opens up right into the content itself. You do have some different tabs to help you with editing over here, but right from the beginning we can just scroll right down through all the content. Now there are a couple things that I find a little harder to work with here, but it's mostly just getting used to the different way of dealing with it. Let's see. So one of the things we want to do is oops. Ah, that's right. So this is one of the strange things. You can't, it doesn't work the way you're used to maybe from Word. You can't just use your down arrow and scroll through to select everything. You have to actually use the arrow key to go across and highlight everything. And this, I think, has to do with the way that my website is set up, but it brings in part of the tag for the whole website, and I don't want that showing up as part of the blog post name. And I'm going to select all the text and decrease the size so that it lays out a little better here. We could also select a different font if we wanted. I think the way I had practiced with it before, but it takes a little longer, is I actually took more than a logo out of here and then added as a separate text block so I could change the font style and size. I'm not going to do that right now because it takes a little longer to play with that. Let's go ahead to the next section. Oh, I do want to change my name here. And then this block here is going to be the heading that's going to repeat on every page. And here I want to bring my text down. Now this we can center. We can actually increase the size a little bit as well. But Designer has kind of a strange way of centering things. It's all held, you can see that line around it. It's held within a sort of frame. They call it a container. And so we can't just drag the image over. What we have to do is keep it within this container. So I'm going to first drag this edge over and then drag this edge over, which is a little odd to me, but once you get used to it, it works. And then this footer block also ends up putting this in here. I'm going to have to look at how I have that set up on my WordPress site and see if I can make it so that doesn't get copied in each time. Because so far I've just been going in and deleting it from every page. And this we're going to want to make a smaller font here. Oh. All right, so I'm going to, let's see, we can make this a little bigger. Oh, and here it's pretty easy to center the photos. Actually, let's go back and center that gift one as well. All right, normally I would clean up the rest of those headers too. One of the nice things with, actually I haven't tested this in Beacon, but I know in Designer it brings in any hyperlinks that you have in your blog post. So those will automatically be formatted correctly. Let's go ahead and just turn this, and normally it does not bring in this kind of stuff like it has at the end here. So I'm not sure why that came in this time. When I've did it before, it did not. Oops. I went a little. All right. So, and this is already set up to go to a call to action. So normally I would add one of their call to action sections here and add a button and everything. So I would redo this part here. But you can see it's already set up as a link. And if you've downloaded the sample that I have with my blog post, you can see an example of how that call to action page works at the end there. I know we're about out of time here, so let me just go ahead and create this. Oh, we can do a preview first. Now it formats, oops, we missed the better presentations added on there. It does the pagination and everything automatically for you, so that's why I'm not really messing around too much with that when I go in and edit. You want to let their system do that for you automatically. Here's one where we would need to move that text down, and there as well, and there as well. So probably what I would do is move this whole thing here from the book image on. I would put that on a separate page at the end for my call to action page. But that gives you an idea of what it looks like. We can close the preview, and we want to save it, and we can also publish it. So let's save first, and I'll go ahead and publish. And there's our finished PDF. And see, if I took a little more time, I could, add an extra space here so it would force that heading to the next page. That would look better. And again, those places where the text wraps the pictures, I'd want to fix that as well. And like I said, from here on, I probably would move that to the final page for the call to action. But as you can see, it does a lot of the work for you. And it's just a matter of learning how their editing system works to tweak it. So I know that's a quick demo. It would be nice to have a lot more time than that, but I wanted to at least introduce you to those. Let me go ahead and get back to my camera here. So I hope you enjoyed that and got some ideas about how you might want to use it in your business. I have an offer for you today. If any of you that are here live, I have a special offer where you can right now go and schedule a strategy session with me today, September 3rd, 2016. If you schedule today, you can get a free ebook service where I will take one of your blog posts and turn it into an ebook for you at no charge. And let me bring up the link where you can go to schedule that session. Oops, sorry. Didn't mean to do that. There we go. Okay, so just go to presentationswithresults.com/strategy, and you'll schedule a time with me and give me the information that it asks for. You will need to give me the URL of the blog post you want, but we'll get on a Skype session and talk first before I actually start to set it up. that's what this page will let you do, is to schedule that Skype session. Now, if you're watching this after September 3rd, 2016, you can still get a 50% discount on your first ebook service if you'd like to try it out. And let me bring up that offer. There's an opt-in page there where you can go and download my sample ebook, and on the last page of that ebook, you'll find a button for the 50% off offer. So thank you for watching the Hangout recording. If you're watching it later, thank you for joining me live, those of you that are here. And I hope that you'll take me up on these offers. That's a great opportunity to try out this service and get a very nicely formatted ebook. Obviously, I'm going to spend more time than I did today formatting it so that it looks very polished for you. And you can use that ebook to either grow your list or as a small paid offer. And if you're not interested in trying my service, then at least start looking at what you can do to turn your blog posts into ebooks. I have a blog post about that as well, and I'll put the link to that in the description under this recording. In that blog post, I also talked about a third way that I use to format blog posts, and that is in PowerPoint. And the blog post even includes a video where I demonstrate how I use PowerPoint to format ebooks. So there's another option you could try. Anyway, my name is Susan Joy Schlief. I thank you for watching and look forward to seeing you on future episodes of Creative Marketing TV.